Former President Donald Trump was indicted on criminal charges for the third time yesterday. Those charges come from special counsel Jack Smith's probe into the efforts to overturn the 2020 election, which led up to the January 6, 2021 Capitol attack. Smith called that attack a, quote, unprecedented assault on the seat of American democracy. And now as Trump is polling ahead of other GOP candidates in Iowa, Local 5's Dana Sarles joins us now to tell us more about the impact this could have on the Iowa caucuses and those voters.
Stephanie, this indictment comes amidst a very active political environment, and with the Iowa caucuses right around the corner, I spoke with experts and voters about how this indictment could impact Iowa.
The former president already polling ahead in Iowa, but the question now rises if that will still be true after the latest indictment. Since there is no ballot in Iowa, Iowan voters are able to show their support for anyone they want at the caucuses.
So as long as Trump remains a declared candidate, he's very likely to get significant support in the Iowa caucus. And even if he withdrew, people could still voice their preference for him as the presidential candidate, even if he is not a declared candidate.
This leaving a lot of opportunity for voters.
But what I think is going to happen now is the conversation is going to change to what's the indictment going to do to the electability of Trump.
And the indictment will now require Trump to prepare for trials and judicial proceedings, which could take time away from his campaign.
The question is will people be willing to keep donating, and will, and as the legal bills mount, what will be left for the campaign to spend on advertising or surrogates traveling to places like Iowa to campaign.
And since this is an unprecedented type of indictment, experts say this could be the reason for lack of comment from Iowa lawmakers.
This is just a somewhat different kind of indictment, right? It really has to do with the powers of government and trying to overthrow an election, which, as serious as the other indictments are, they are not in the same, ilk.
Now, a lot of what could happen to Trump's support in Iowa is still up in the air, but as of now, this indictment hasn't shown to impact overall Iowan support of Trump. Stephanie?
Dana, thank you. Republican presidential candidates will take the stage 3 weeks from tonight at the Republican National Committee's first debate. Local 5's Connor O'Neill breaks down everything you need to know.
Former President Trump, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, South Carolina Senator Tim Scott, and former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley are 4 of the 7 Republican candidates who have qualified for the debate later this month. Trump hasn't made a final decision yet if he will attend the RNC debate, and I didn't hear back from his office when I reached out to them. Aside from these 4 candidates, entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy, former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, and North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum have also met the requirements to participate. Here's the requirements for how they can qualify for this debate. Each must secure 40,000 donors, including 200 from 20 states. Candidates also need support from 1% of Republican voters in 3 different national polls or in 2 national polls and 2 polls in early primary states like Iowa. Former Vice President Mike Pence and former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson have met the polling requirements, but have struggled so far to secure donors. Conservative radio host Larry Elder, Miami Mayor Francis Suarez, entrepreneur Ryan Binkley, and former Texas Congressman Will Hurd also have failed to meet the requirements. When asked about not qualifying for the debate yet, Binkley sent me the following statement. We are confident of an aggressive strategy we've implemented recently, getting donations in over 20 states. We're making big leaps in our donor base every day, and we are showing up in the polls. Now, Binkley and the rest of the non-qualified candidates have until August 21st to meet the polling and donor requirements to attend the debate 48 hours later. But this won't get any easier for these candidates because for the second debate, scheduled at the end of September in California, White House hopefuls will have to have 50,000 donors and 3% in 2 national polls. Stephanie?